This Friday, the U.S. will suspend what is known as the de minimis rule. That's a policy that lets packages under $800 enter the country duty-free. This means nearly all low-value imports will now face tariffs and extra custom checks, along with the customer or the consumer having to foot the bill, likely, right? Here to explain more about this and what's in store for us is Sean Henry. He is the CEO of Stored Fulfillment, a tech-powered logistics and supply chain company with operations in Union City. Sean, welcome to the show.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me, Chesley.
All right, let's start simple with this thing. How big of a shakeup is this for the global shipping market?
Absolutely. At the end of the day, most consumers are already impacted by de minimis without realizing it. The package you get on your doorstep internationally from China or another market is essentially exploiting this loophole to get into the US customs free. And this has been a huge rise over the last decade. Since 2012, the amount of packages entering the US this way went from only $50 million worth of goods per year to over $65 billion worth of goods. However, now starting August 29th, that free pass to come in duty-free is gone. Essentially, every package entering the US as a small parcel will be subject to the same duty as if it got to a US port on a container. And that is normally how it works. However, this de minimis exemption was created for international travelers in the 1930s. We also thought there's not that much cross-border commercial parcels occurring, and they'll be very hard to track. But today, again, we're talking about 4 million packages daily, about 92% of all import shipments. So think of it like removing the express lane at the airport security checkpoint and forcing everyone through the full screening process instead of 92% of packages coming into the US having that fast lane with less paperwork and no duties.
So that means our packages will come a little bit later, not as fast, right? And also, what does it mean for the everyday shopper? Somebody that buys, say, a $20 cell phone case online, how quickly will they feel it?
Yeah, so the impact of de minimis that's occurred already is that shipping is typically slower. When you're getting a package internationally, it's coming in maybe 1 to 2 weeks versus when you're getting a package domestically held in a US warehouse like I'm sitting in today, it's often arriving in maybe 2 to 5 days. And that fast consumer delivery is definitely today's expectation. Yet it's hard to offer that fast delivery when you could ship it internationally and never face the same duties and taxes. And so as a result, these packages have comparatively over the past been slower than domestic shipments, but they have been cheaper. The problem now is that they're going to start to be the same price. It's not going to be cheaper to shop from these international sellers shipping into the US as much as it was prior, yet they're also going to be even slower because now they do have to go through all the paperwork, all the customs and more. And particularly as you take 94% of inbound packages and imply customs to them suddenly, a lot of the customs stations and parcel processing stations simply aren't ready for all that paperwork. Over the last few weeks, we've seen over 5 international carriers in Europe and Asia stop shipping packages into the US because of all the customs delays and more, where it's a struggle to actually implement. And so there will be great technology that catches up with this and enables that processing through. But in short, those packages will get even slower and will now be closer to the same costs as the domestic packages. I do want to clarify, there's really 2 types of tariffs that you've probably heard of over the last few months or year to date. There's both the kind of commercial tariff, which is at a port, and then there is the de minimis tariff, which is what we're talking about today when a small parcel comes into the US. Just this de minimis tariff and taking that away, where any package under $800 is duty free, is expected to cost the average individual over $30 per year, average family about $136 per year, losing that benefit of de minimis, while the broad cost impact to US consumers is really the general broad commercial tariffs. And so the ultimate question is, what will happen as now over $65 billion of goods annually will be given the proper duty? And that's maybe $4 to $8 billion of duties and taxes to the US per year that have been avoided. And will that level out over time? And that's what we have to see.
All right, Sean Henry, thanks for breaking it all down for us. Really appreciate it.